Hello guys, welcome back to another video and I'm reacting to all of the O5 council members. Let's get started.
051, known as the Founder, is the highest-ranking member of the SCP Foundation. Most believe his real name was Aaron Siegel, a brilliant physicist born in 1866 in Essex County, New Jersey. He grew up obsessed with how the universe works, later studying physics at Cornell University, where he became known for his extreme intelligence and strange curiosity about the unexplained. During his research into occult groups, Siegel traveled to Iraq, and that's where he encountered his first anomaly, the Gate Guardian. Instead of destroying him like it did others, the Guardian spoke a single command: protect. That moment changed everything. Siegel realized humanity had no system to handle beings and objects that broke reality, so he began gathering people he trusted and built the earliest structure of what would become the SCP Foundation.
So did he get power from the Gate Guardian, or maybe he gets powers on his own? Like, what is the mystery behind it? Because I feel like if you are going to capture SCPs, you should have some sort of power.
Through anomalous protections gained over the years, he survived far beyond a human lifespan, now believed to be over 148 years old, still leading as 051 from the shadows. 052, known as the Gardener, is an older woman, around 80 in appearance, always wearing a shawl, gloves, and a hat. She looks calm and kind, like someone's grandmother, but she's one of the most dangerous members of the O5 Council. 052 is actually an alternate version of Dr. Sophia Light, from a timeline that no longer exists. The current Sophia Light has no idea her alternate sits on the council. Unlike many O5s, 052 believes the anomalous shouldn't only be contained, it should be understood. She supports research, cross-testing, and better classification of anomalous items.
But why? Like, what is the end game of those SCPs? Are they here before some big disaster? Like how actually in some anime and manga there is that in the starting there is a monsters which are coming out from the portals in a start, and it's keep coming out so they can create an environment for bigger monsters to appear.
She rarely appears in public and is often seen with an unknown elderly man. People say she seems gentle, but her decisions change the direction of the entire Foundation, quietly and permanently. 053, also called the Kid or the All-Seeing Eye, is one of the most mysterious members of the O5 Council. He always appears like a teenager, around 17 to 19, with long blonde hair, glasses, a patched jean jacket, and a single bone earring.
Is he very similar to One Punch Man Kid, which is similar like how he's very genius and almost like how Tony Stark is, that he creates weapons, robots, and do a lot of research?
But nobody has ever seen him in real life. He communicates only through computer terminals, like he's living inside the system. His gender changes sometimes male, sometimes female, sometimes neither, and he never explains why. His real identity is completely unknown. Many reports say he actually died years ago and now exists only as an AI he created.
Yeah, I was even thinking about like maybe he is some sort of robot and not a human anymore.
While others say he was never human at all. He runs the Foundation's digital record-keeping and always seems to know what will happen before it happens. That's why they call him the All-Seeing Eye. 054, the Ambassador, is one of the most unusual members of the O5 Council. Mid-40s, Canadian with Koori Australian heritage, looks completely ordinary, and was even assigned female at birth. But none of that stops him from being the Foundation's smoothest negotiator. He started out as a field agent, talking his way through missions until he became the guy the Foundation trusted to deal with every major group of interest.
And by the way, for example, what I think is that if you are going to become most trusted in the SCP organization, you need to, I think, first of all, have no thought of using that power for any bad, and you are there solely for protecting people and protecting the earths, and also you have to do a lot of missions to prove yourself. So yeah, taking a position of O5 member council is very hard to even get, and that's why there is like very few members there.
He acts as the Foundation's public face, meeting presidents, UN leaders, and the GOC, and he has a whole team of diplomats under him. The strange part is his ability to travel huge distances in almost no time.
Yeah, so he can just teleport there instantly.
Always claiming he just walked, but never explaining how. He's loyal, trustworthy.
Or maybe he is like a flash. If we take his words, like he is saying that he walks, so maybe he is like a flash and he can just run very fast and no one's know.
And always shows up exactly where he needs to be. But the way he moves and the secrets he keeps make even the Foundation wonder how much he really knows. 055, 055, Blackbird. He looks like a calm, friendly guy in his 40s. Tweed suit, coat, bird pattern ties, and a small blackbird pin he always wears. But don't get fooled. He's been on the O5 Council for a very long time. He's known for being laid back and joking around.
Wait a second, let me guess. He can control birds and maybe animals also.
But people inside the Foundation know he's one of the most dangerous O5s. He's an artist too.
You know which artist I am thinking about instantly?
Always drawing 5 blackbirds as his signature. Blackbird runs the department that studies other paranormal groups and organizations. He also pays close attention to anything that connects to alternate realities. His staff say he sometimes talks like different people, like versions of him from other universes.
Yeah, that what I was even thinking about before I even talk about it, that how many alternative universes there are in SCP Foundation, and I'm pretty sure every single alternative universe have their own O5 members. So maybe if those members have some kind of power, so they can just teleport in between those dimensions, no one will even suspect like somebody changed or not. For example, in O5 members, because if one guy dies in O5 members, there is already another guy from another dimension which will take his position, so that thing will repeat again and again, and no one will realize that O5 member has died, because there will be already another O5 member which will replace him. But how that will process will work, because he also need to be in his own universe.
That's why everyone knows Blackbird is friendly, but he's not someone you underestimate. 056, 056, the cowboy, walked into Site 19 in his white suit, white cowboy hat, and his wolf head cane. Everyone knew he used to be one of the best Foundation field agents, and now he was one of the O5 leaders. Calm, professional, always in control. His 2 bodyguards, Thompson and Black, followed behind him as an alarm echoed through the hall. Something dangerous had escaped. The cowboy didn't panic. He just tapped his cane on the floor and said, "Let's keep this place secure, gentlemen." With quick, smooth movements, the same skills that made him famous, he helped the team corner the anomaly.
I feel like he will walk like Michael Jackson. I don't know why, but I have a feeling about that.
And lock it back in. As the doors closed, he adjusted his hat. Security first, always, and walked away like it was just another normal day. 057, 057 Green, is a longtime member of the O5 Council. She's a South Asian woman who looks around her mid-40s, always wearing green clothes.
She's from Pakistan. she love green color, so I'm pretty sure she's from Pakistan. I'm just joking, but still.
Seems friendly at first, but everyone knows she's smart, strategic, and can become dangerous when needed. People think she used to be a university professor because she created many of the Foundation's training programs. She also takes a strong interest in staff, choosing important people, and supporting risky experiments, especially Dr. Alto Clef's projects. Green doesn't like public attention. She works quietly, through private meetings and trusted helpers. Inside the Foundation, she's respected, but outside she's feared and called the Spider, because she quietly controls things from behind the scenes. Whenever Green appears in person, everyone knows something serious is happening. 058, 058, also called the Newbie, or the Lesser, was once a normal Foundation site director. He was young, American, and recently promoted to the O5 Council. But his first big decision ruined everything. He approved Dr. Kondraki's plan to handle SCP-083, and that plan caused multiple SCP breaches and almost destroyed Site 19.
Okay, I think I also need to read about this whole operation and what happened and which kind of SCPs are involved and which type of power those SCP has.
Kondraki was later killed because of the chaos, and even though 058 kept his seat, he never mentally recovered. After that, he became extremely careful and stopped making decisions himself.
So he became very cautious about his own decisions.
He relied heavily on support staff, and people say his new team is unstable and might cause more mistakes. Now, 058 hasn't appeared publicly for a long time. Some think he was assassinated, while others believe he is hiding in his estate, scared of the other O5 members. No one knows.
So can they just kill him? like what will the responsibility be? For example, if some O5 member done something which was very bad and a lot of people get killed because of his decision, so are they going to just remove that guy from his position or kill him, or maybe some kind of punishment, or what will the situation be?
Knows what truly happened to him. 059, 059, the outsider, was once Donna Taylor, a geologist from New Zealand. During her research, she found strange geological anomalies that normal science couldn't explain. Before she could publish her work, the Foundation stopped her, erased the evidence, and secretly recruited her. Her entry into the O5 Council was unusual and barely approved, but once inside, she focused on one goal: understanding how anomalies actually work. She supported research, opened more scientific journals, and tried to build a big theory behind all anomalous phenomena. People say she has a strange mix of friendship and conflict with O510, but no one knows the real truth. All that's clear is this: O59 came from the outside, but she changed the Foundation from within. O510, O510, the archivist, is the woman who remembers what entire timelines forget. She looks like a normal mid-40s lady in a gray striped suit, but she carries the history of every Earth reset ever recorded.
So she is immortal, but she has also some sort of power which will keep her memory somehow, because I'm pretty sure there is also instances of some SCPs trying to distort the whole reality and change the, you know, timeline and do things like that. And also she is very powerful in a sense that she remember everything, and she is also immortal and she does not get affected by other things.
While the rest of the O5 Council sees only small parts, she's the only one with full access to all K-class events, even ones from previous versions of the world. She took the job from the earlier O510 and has been quietly doing it for years. Recently, she's become more active, guiding new researchers and focusing on SCPs connected to world-ending risks. Salt, her assistant or decoy, is always with her. Some say she can enter the Wanderer's library and learned a bit of magic there. Others claim there's a darker version of her somewhere else. But everyone agrees on one thing: if the archivist is reading the record, then reality is more complicated than anyone thinks. O511, the mailman, is an elderly man from Eastern Europe.
By the way, I would love to see the Marvel creator as a O5 member, because you know, I love him, especially his ideas of Marvel character and things like that. So I would love to see him because he is very you know, fearless, because he does not give a f about villains and heroes in Marvel universe. Sometimes you can just see him in the movies, and that is how I love him. And I feel like if he is added to O5 council, I would love to see him interacting with some of the SCPs, because he will also be not scared of them and he will just talk shit to those SCPs. Those SCP cannot do anything to him. That will be also a very good collab, you can just say, will happen.
Over 80 years old. He looks completely normal and acts like a calm, kind grandfather. No one knows exactly why he's called the mailman, but people think he might have been a real mailman before joining the council. Staff joke about the name, yet everyone agrees he is one of the most gentle members of the O5 group. His main job is important. He decides the final fate of Class D personnel, whether they are terminated or transferred to another site. Every decision goes through him.
What is Class D? I don't even know about that.
Some say he once held a different O5 number, hinting at past changes inside the council, but he never talks about it. He just quietly does his work, steady and peaceful. O512, O512, the accountant, is a calm, large-built man of African origin who looks mid-40s but is almost certainly older. He always wears expensive tailored suits, heavy jewelry, and dark wraparound glasses with ivory frames. He serves as the Foundation's personal numbers expert. O512 checks every budget, every file, every hidden detail, making sure all the Foundation's numbers stay correct.
So he is the accountant of O5 members. And how much money does O5 council has? Because I'm pretty sure they are in trillionaires. How much they are actually trying to construct new bases for their own mission, trying to capture SCP. So they also need a whole operation base for that, so they can just capture him. Also, their damages caused by those SCP, then also I think they paid for those damages, so no other person realized that it was the SCP fault. So they are actively trying to cover that, and I think they will be paying for every single incident that happened. So yeah, they are trillionaires at that point, or maybe they have infinite amount of money, because I think they can just travel to another universe and take valuable resources from there to sell it on Earth.
His mind works like a high-level calculator, seeing patterns and connections no one else can. His real name is Omar Alawe, promoted after the previous 0512 died. He believes strongly in order, so his entire day runs on a strict schedule, every habit, every movement planned. Simple truth? 0512 keeps the foundation stable by making sure nothing ever stops adding up. 0513. 0513 is the biggest misunderstanding in the foundation. People think he's a secret council member, but he doesn't exist at all. 0513 is only a tiebreaker vote the council uses when decisions are tied. The vote isn't owned by one person. It keeps rotating. First 051 holds it, then 052, then 053.
Okay, so I thought maybe they all do some sort of voting, and he's like a tiebreaker that he's the last person who can decide to say yes or not. For example, if there is 11 or 5 members, are they 11 members or what? Okay, so there are 12. I am gonna give example that, for example, if there is 11 or 5 members and there is a voting that need to be done, and 5% say yes and 5% say no, so I think that 11 guy is the tiebreaker and he can decide to say yes or no, and like he holds some sort of power. So I thought maybe it was like that.
And so on. Whoever has the vote gets access to a few special databases, and when the vote moves to the next member, any related knowledge is wiped from their memory. Staff still believe there's a real 0513 out there, but the truth is simple. 0513 is just a system, not a person.
And I love it, like how they are trying to portray the O5 members, and it was quite interesting for me. But still, it is quite of a mystery that how much power they hold and what can they do, what cannot do. So it is kind of like mystery that you don't even know what they can do or not. And that's it for today's video. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.